This is part 3 of my conversation with Andra Zaharia. This is the Madfire round. I don't need to say more about it because it's right there. So let's go. There are like string of 10, 12 questions written in a very shabby handwriting, but I'll just go one after the other. There are a lot of people going into freelancing right now. Any one tip for the freelancers out there?
Yes. Find friends, make friends, learn from other freelancers. They're extremely generous. They're extremely empathetic. They've been where you are. They are willing to share their know-how. And that has really kind of been one of the most important things that I did when I went out on my own. I learned a lot from them, made great friends. And I continue learning from them. It is an incredible community. So don't feel like you have to go at it alone or that you'll find answers to everything online. Talk to other people that are going through the same thing or have gone through the same thing. It makes a huge difference.
Super. Okay. My next question is one quote that you live by.
It is practice what you preach. I really believe in that. I believe that it changes things. I believe that it keeps you true to yourself. It helps you work your way through things. And it helps other people trust you because people see the gap between what we say and what we do. And if that gap is big enough, then no one will trust you and you won't be able to make any meaningful relationships work. So just do the thing that you say you're going to do. And it also comes with an added bonus, which is internal alignment. So, that'll get rid of a lot of self-conflict that is very detrimental to your health and to your, level of energy. So yeah, practicing what we preach. I believe in that all day, every day.
Lovely. If you could go back in time and tell 18-year-old Andra something, like some advice, what would that be?
Ooh, go easier on yourself. Things work out eventually. I used to be very, very hard on myself for the longest time because that's what I saw around me. That's what I grew up with. I was extremely harsh to myself. I still am. Most of the time, I'm still learning how to be kinder to myself and to enjoy things a bit more, to play, to not be so afraid of consequences. I also think this is a cultural thing, which I'm honestly jealous that I haven't been able to experience at a younger age. But one thing is that, yes, I would love to tell 18-year-old me to just be more self-empathetic and just leave some of that burden and responsibility that she got, just toss it aside. It's not yours. You get to decide what you take on and what you don't.
Got it. One book which, like, if you had the chance, you could just gift it to everybody, like the most gifted book that you...
The Art of Possibility. It is one of the most beautiful books I've ever read. I discovered it through the MBA. And it is just wonderful. It will give you faith in humanity. It will it just gives you this magical view into people's lives. And it gives you a lot of ideas of how to practice empathy with other people and how to lift them up and how to lead with trust in other people. And it's changed how I approach many of my relationships. It changed a lot how I recruit people. And it just makes a huge difference. And after reading it, rereading it, and it is the most gifted book that I ever gave to people.
Oh, wow. It's called The Art of Possibility.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. One productivity hack you wish you sort of discovered earlier.
Be aware of how you spend your time. I've been using Rescue Time for many years. And being aware of where my time goes has been one of the main things that I keep in my awareness, not to over-optimize things, but rather to understand how, if I'm using my time the way that I want to use it, or things are hijacking my time and I'm letting them in, and I'm always, letting other people's priorities kind of dilute and take away from my priorities. So that's one item that's worth tracking and following as you go through life, because it'll just make you more grounded and give you more control over your most important resource ever.
Love it. One, like this is a little generic, but one content marketing tip that you want to share.
I think that collecting the dots and see how they connect later is very important. In content marketing, you do a lot of different tasks. You do research, you do writing, you do promoting, you do some community building. You look in all these different places and capture so much information that it feels like, okay, but how does this actually, work together? And what I say is that there is no perfect framework for this. You can try to experiment with things. And for example, Tiago Forte's Second Brain is a great framework for knowledge workers, which content marketers are, to capture all of that and create, put it into an actionable format. But trust that the things that you collect will eventually serve you in one way or another. That doesn't mean consuming everything, obviously, but even consuming a lot will help build your filters. So you'll know, what you like and what you don't like, just as you mentioned previously. So yeah, I think that collect and then connect and then do something about it is the most important thing.
Wow. One habit that you've been practicing for the longest time and has given you really good results and you want to tell others about it?
Writing. Writing has been the most important thing in my life. It has been a driver for my personal development. It has been a driver for my work. I hoped when I was in high school that I would end up writing for a living. I had no idea it would look like this, honestly. I love every minute of it. And writing is still one of the most powerful tools in psychology that helps us clarify our thoughts, work through things, gain knowledge, internalize things, teach others. There's just something magical about writing. So writing I feel it will never go out of style, no matter the format that it will happen in. I still believe that is one of the most powerful things that has kept me going.
It is that thing which will never change.
Yes, exactly.
It'll never go out of style. Okay. So we know you really look up to Seth Godin, but any other marketing guru after Seth Godin, you don't have to name him now, but any other marketing guru that you really follow or, somebody's work whom you really closely follow?
Yes, it's Louis Grenier from Everyone Hates Marketers. Let's change that. There's a parenthesis to that. His podcast is amazing. His body of work is great. His Stand the Fuck Out program is absolutely fantastic. I did it. It really elevated my business as well. He's one of the most consistent, generous, and just committed people that I know. I have huge respect for him, for the community that he built, for the wealth of knowledge that his podcast has for people in the space. And I would just encourage you to follow him, learn from him, let him challenge you, because that is what he does best.
Wow, I had no clue about him, so that's really interesting. Okay. Any newsletter that you open, irrespective of what the subject line is?
Yes. Mariana Kay's newsletter, which is Freelance Bold. I absolutely love her newsletter. I love her work. I love how she supports freelancers. She was actually one of the people who played an instrumental role in my growth as well, and in me building my business. And she's done that for many, many other freelancers. Her work and her newsletter is not just for freelancers. You can take away so much from it because she combines a lot of insightful stuff around building your own business with being a lot kinder to yourself and building a business that is really, supportive of your health in many aspects. So I highly encourage you to subscribe. I love it.
I can totally sense that. Okay. The last one, and this is a little strategic, and I do ask this because I personally also understand if you do this and how you do this. And this question is, because you also write a lot and you produce podcasts as well, and you do so much of content, do you also repurpose your content in any way?
Yes, I try my best. I do need some help in that area. I recognize that. And from time to time, I do get some help for that, with that, because I really believe that when someone else comes in and looks at your content with fresh eyes, it just changes a lot of things. I see tons of repurposing opportunities in other people's content as well. So it's much easier to do that for other people's content than your own, obviously. I do try to do that quite a lot. I do have a lot of ideas that I initially posted on Twitter or on LinkedIn that I want to turn into articles that I haven't done yet, but I have turned some of those ideas into podcast episodes, and I will keep doing that. I really believe in this process because it helps you, first of all, when you reread or re-listen to something, you internalize it. You get to see different nuances, you get to see different possibilities with it, and it starts different kinds of conversation. So I believe that this process is something that's very valuable, and it's very much akin to something that's part of the LTMBA, actually, that's part of the exercise. So for example, you have prompts, you deliver a project, and 2 days later, you have to go back to the project and write a PS where you reflect on things that you've understood or realized in that time span since you shipped the project. So I feel like repurposing is a similar process that kind of inspires reflection, it inspires improvement, and it helps you connect the dots in different ways. So I feel like there's a lot of value in that. And I want to do it more often, and I probably need help.
Help you. No, but thank you so much, Andra. This was very insightful. I already knew I'll have a lovely chat with you, and I think it was the same vibe. But yes, I really love chatting with you. It was very insightful is the word that's just coming to my mind right now. It was super insightful to speak with you.
Thank you. You were the most gracious host. I love doing this. I loved how present and super involved you are. And I could feel that. It was honestly thrilling for me as well. And conversations like these give me so much energy. And it's wonderful when this kind of magic happens, even when it's the first time when you're talking to someone. This is why I love the internet, because without it, we wouldn't be able to do this. And thank you so much for taking the time to ask all of these insightful questions. You're the most wonderful host.
Thank you, Andra. Thank you so much. This was the final part of my conversation with Andra. Andra Zaharia can be found everywhere on Twitter, on LinkedIn. She's, as she mentioned, she's taken a detox from Insta and Facebook, so we might not find her there. But yes, Twitter is some place where she's really active at. That's where I first spoke to her. And yeah, please go stalk her. If you like this, please tell us in the comments so that we know we're doing a decent job. If you like something that Andra shared, please tell her in her DMs and comments, because that will also let her know that you really like what she said.